Did you know that St. Luke's University Health Network, based in the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, has been recognized by the U.S. government as the highest performing health system in the United States for quality? You heard right. St. Luke's #1 recognition affirms our status as the top leader among the most respected healthcare providers in the nation, including Houston Methodist and the Mayo Clinic. To state it simply, if you want to receive the best care when you go to a hospital, come to St. Luke's.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
To the United States of America, other cities, other municipalities, whatever you do, do not elect a socialist. Even though this hour I'm specifically talking about New York City, this is very much a national story and scope in terms of learning a lesson of what not to do. If you're like Mamdani, New York's first Muslim American mayor who is a socialist, what we're seeing thus far, all signs of permitting the Jewish community to come under violent attack. Horrible things, siding, it appears on all accounts, with Palestinians. That is what you get if you elect a socialist mayor. And so all I can say is thank you, Jim Walden. Thank you, Jim Walden. Jim Walden was a former candidate in the race for mayor, and he has had enough. He is calling out Mamdani. So late last night, in a post he put on X on his profile, Mr. Walden said of Mamdani, again, the city's first Muslim mayor, and I am quoting here, a terrorist attack in New York City would be a complicated problem for the mayor because he'd be rooting for the terrorists. Mamdani responding this hour, calling it despicable. We'll have much more on this. The number to reach me right now, 800-848-9222. You know, it was interesting to see what happened in China. And this was the red carpet welcome for the President of the United States after he landed in Beijing for the closely watched summit with the president there. The summit is set for tomorrow. Trade, the war in Iran, and technology, a number of issues reportedly will come up, but President Trump is there in China, and he received a big reception upon his arrival. Okay, so now let me get to what I'm focusing on. Mamdani, you need to be ashamed of yourself. This is not just a New York story. This is a national story in terms of what not to do. First Muslim American mayor, and it's just not working out. Socialist mayor, not working out, Mamdani. Not working out. You can act like your little feelings are hurt, but how do you think we feel under your leadership? Oh, that's despicable. But how do you think we feel under your leadership? You are the one that is despicable, Mamdani. The Jewish community under attack, and you're doing absolutely nothing to protect them. The feds are going to have to come in with civil rights violations. This can't be tolerated. This guy is sending every signal possible to Palestinians, to potential terrorists, that he's on their side. So what am I talking about? All the candidates, folks, if you're listening from around the country, all the other candidates that got out, you had Eric Adams and Andrew Cuomo running as independents. You had Mamdani, the Democrat. You had the Republican candidate, Mr. 7%. All the other candidates got out of the race. All the other candidates, except for one, has criticized Mamdani. All the candidates that got out, All of them, except for one, has criticized Mamdani. So now, Jim Walden, he's one of the candidates that's criticizing Mamdani. And what he's stating about the mayor is that if a terrorist attack, and remember, folks, 9/11 happened here in New York. If a terrorist attack occurred in New York City, Jim Walden, writing, who's a lawyer by trade, that it would be a complicated problem for Mayor Mamdani because Mayor Mamdani would be rooting for the terrorists. What has Mamdani done to show us different? He won't protect the Jewish community. He's emboldened and empowering these Palestinian nuts. And so Mamdani was finally asked a question, perhaps indirect today, about what Mr. Walden had to say. Now, put this all in perspective. All the candidates that went to the general election, all of them have now criticized Mamdani except for one. Only one candidate still is Peep. Nothing negative to say about Mamdani. But Jim Walden is the latest one, and Mamdani was asked about Walden's comment. He's raised $1 million, Jim Walden, to fight Mamdani's agenda, and I say bravo to you, sir. The mayor of New York City asked about it today.
So if you could talk directly to Jim Walden, what would you say today?
Get off Twitter.
So I'm wondering, there's been a group that's been formed to sort of combat your agenda. I think they've got a couple $1 million already in that group, and I'm wondering what you think about that effort, and also about the comments of Jim Walden, who made some remarks regarding how you would handle a terrorist attack in the city.
What did he say?
I believe he said that you would be rooting for the terrorists.
I think that's just despicable. You know, the idea that this passes for political analysis, not you, but what he says, and that it passes for the norm of discourse, it is a reflection of where we are, not just as a city, but as a country. And there will be those that oppose policies that we put forward. I don't begrudge anyone their opposition. It's New York City. There are 8.5 million people here. We should see 8.5 million opinions. But to besmirch me as the first Muslim mayor of this city, that I would ever be doing anything other than looking to support our city, to defend our city, I really don't have anything else to add to that. And I think it's a reflection of exactly what motivates that kind of opposition.
Now, to you stupid folks that are clapping, he didn't answer the question. He punted and said what you would expect for him to say. I'm the first Muslim American mayor. How can you say that about me? Blah, blah, blah. Much ado about nothing. Political reporters, what is wrong with you? Make that man answer some questions. What are they teaching you in school these days? This is journalism 101. 800-848-9222. On one of the television programs, News Nation, right? Now you've got human rights attorneys going on television declaring that what is happening in New York City as it relates to the Jewish community coming under attack. And the mayor says, Peep, the mayor does nothing, de nada, that the feds at some point will have to get involved.
The fact this is happening at all is highly alarming.
Absolutely. The state is absolutely negligent in the lack of prosecutions and law enforcement. The DOJ must step in. We've heard a lot, as you said, about investigations, but I trust that they are collecting the evidence to start prosecuting. It is a violation of the FACE Act. It is a violation of New York state law. You cannot harass and intimidate and threaten people with violence, especially on their way to pray. Now, listen, during the 50s and 60s, during the civil rights movement of the blacks here in America, the National Guard came out. Field offices were set up. Loopholes in the law were closed. New legislation was enacted. And we got the problem under control when the KKK was doing the exact same thing, marching around black neighborhoods and lighting black churches on fire. Violence will ensue if the rule of law is not imposed here. And you are absolutely correct. The DOJ must step in immediately with action.
And so the question becomes, when does the Justice Department open up a potential civil rights violation act about what's happening with the Jewish community in New York City? Women, children under attack. And I'm still thinking about that woman, the Jewish woman. She was trapped in the middle of the crowd around these nuts. A woman, they all got on masks. Woman walks up to her, yanks her long hair. And the woman, the Jewish woman, was so disoriented. You know how when a person is defeated and they basically are throwing in the white flag? That's what she did. And the Jewish woman was disoriented, trying to get out of the center of the crowd. This is despicable. And Mamdani has nothing to say about it. And these sorry-ass reporters at City Hall are not asking him a single serious question. They are complicit in what is going on. Gabe Pressman, the legendary dean of the New York City Press Corps, has to be spinning in his grave right now. We see all your telephone calls. We're going to get to them momentarily. But also, actor, comedian Michael Rappaport. Things are so bad in New York City, folks, under this socialist mayor. I don't care about the hip-hop videos he posts online or his slick videos that is running billionaires out of the city. Michael Rappaport, appearing on Chris Cuomo's show, says that if nobody else steps up to run against this clown, then he is going to do so.
In terms of the mayor 2029, I am running for mayor of New York City. I never thought that I would even consider running for mayor of New York City. And I will do it with the best intentions. And I won't do it the way any other political person has ever done it. Your brother, Cuomo, Kung Fu Curtis, Kathy Hochul, Obama, Trump. The only way to beat this guy is to make it and take it with a New York City street fight mentality. There's no way to out-nice him. There's no way to out-slick him. I think that he's the greatest bullcrapper in the history of politicians, and that's saying a lot. But New York City needs to do something. We need to plan right now because 2029 is around the corner. And yes, I'm running for mayor of New York City, and I will only drop out until I feel like there's somebody who's more qualified that could actually beat Zoran the moron.
So there you have it, Michael Rappaport declaring that he's going to run for mayor. Let's start with some of your telephone calls. Let's begin with, let's see here. Let's go to Tony, line 5, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Tony?
Hey, Dominic. Thanks for taking the call. Love the show.
Thank you.
All the points that you make. Just wanted to comment on the Mamdani comment to the lawyer that you were saying, and how he said it was despicable that someone...
No, I got it. I'm short on time. Get to your point, please.
Okay, so my point is that he already has proven it true. The truth hurts, because when those two maniacs with the explosive devices showed up...
Absolutely.
That's an act of terrorism. And whose side did the...
Oh, boy. Tony's line is... Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Tony.
The mayor took the terrorist side.
You're right about that, Tony. But that was just a slap in the face. He then had the Columbia University organizer against those anti-Semitic protests. He didn't have the police at Gracie Mansion for a meal. He had that Palestinian sympathizer at Gracie Mansion breaking bread with him. This guy has to go by hook or crook. I'm not suggesting anything violent to happen to Mayor Mamdani. I would never want to see that. He cannot be the mayor of New York City. We have never been down a path like this before. The first Muslim American mayor, and he is showing his true colors each and every day. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
It's Dominic Carter. Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Today, after 3 more months of painstaking work, I am proud to announce that we have closed the gap entirely. down to zero. It has not been easy, but we have balanced the budget, and we have done so without placing the burden on the backs of working New Yorkers. This budget does not raise property taxes, and it refuses to slash services.
So remember, Mamdani threatened to raise property taxes across the board by 10%. Remember that? Oh, he's seen the light of day now. So I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex, Debbie Lobato, Staten Island, says at Dominic TV, other than you and a few others, journalism is dead. It's all about entertainment. It's all about compliance. And it's all about opinion and not facts. Sad that people want to be stroked instead of wanting to hear the truth. And you know what, Debbie? I keep saying this. Mamdani, you're going to keep it up. You know, my day of covering City Hall is over. You know, I had been there, done that. Frankly, one of the best to ever do it. Mamdani, you're going to keep it up where you're going to resurrect me coming back to City Hall to cover you. Because what's going on, it's disgusting. These journalists, and at the bottom of the hour, I'm going to play again Mamdani responding to Jim Walden. He's still given the opportunity to say which side would he come down on as it relates to a terrorist attack in New York. If you listen carefully, he doesn't answer the question. And nobody follows up because they're all afraid of him. They're all kissing his ass nonstop. I wish I would. I'd rather be dead than to kiss your ass, Mamdani, or any politician. And frankly, that's what made me so good covering City Hall, because there's nothing you can do to entice me, threaten me, one way or the other. I don't care what you reveal. I don't care what you do. My responsibility is to the people of New York City to tell the truth. Let's go back to some of your telephone calls. Paulie, line 4, Throg's Neck. Paulie, what's on your mind?
Dominic, I can understand why you wouldn't want to, but we in New York, we need you, okay? We need you. Okay, you could be, I don't know if you realize this, but you could be the next Rudy Giuliani. And I know Rudy Giuliani. I'm friends with him. If you take a look at my Facebook page, you'll see several pictures of me and him up there. But listen, I understand why you wouldn't want to do it because of the hassle. You got a great life. You got a great career, so on and so forth. But you're the right guy for it. You're a tough guy like Trump. You're a tough guy. You know City Hall. We need you, Dominic, to step up to the plate and be the next Rudy Giuliani for New York City. We need you. The people love you. We respect you. I'm telling you, you punch all the right cards. And listen, I love Sid. I love Rosenberg. I do. But the Jews in New York, listen, he's a great Jew, and I love the Jews. But the bad Jews, like he calls them, the bad Jews, the crappy Jews, I think is his terminology, they do not like him. You are a man of the people. You are loved by all people, very much respected. And you really could. You're the only one that could do it. And I know that you love the city, and I know you live in Rockland. But, you know, somebody like Trump did. I watched Trump come down the escalator, okay, in 2016, him and Melania. I saw him come down, and I knew from that minute.
I got a national break that I have no choice to get to. I'm going to respond to that, to what you just said, in a very interesting lunch that I had with my family. Believe it or not, my personal family is urging me to run for mayor. I'm coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back. So something interesting happened in Nutley, New Jersey on Saturday. After we were done with John Mancini, retired law enforcement from the West Orange Police Department, started the K-9 unit. After we were done with Lisa, I asked for a place to eat. They directed us someplace, I think it was Jim Dandy or something like that. I don't know. Chicken wings and so on. So we're sitting down, me, my wife, my son, and my daughter. My daughter came down from Rhode Island. And my daughter starts the conversation. And she goes, and I'm sitting there just minding my business. And she goes, Dad, I'm serious. You should run for mayor. And I'm like, yeah. Then my son chimes in, Dominic Jr. And then the most conservative, the shyest of the group, that this would be the hardest on, my wife, Marilyn, chimes in and says, Dominic, you really should do this. And so I'm not worried about raising the money, but I'd have to move back into the city, and make no doubt about it, I would be Giuliani 2.0. I would take his playbook. Everything that he did, I would do it on overdrive. The crime fighting. So, for example, seriously, folks, I'm not worried about raising the money. I don't know if my heart is into politics, but if I did something like that, and you had this protest that had, alleged protest where you were beating up Jewish people, the police commissioner would probably tell me, Mayor Carter, this is not in our best interest for you to show up. I would show up, and I would stand there in front of the line and tell them, I'm going to tell you this one time. If you act up, we're going to have a major problem here tonight. If you threaten one Jewish person, if you put your hands on one Jewish person, we're going to have a major problem here tonight, because I'm going to arrest every single one of you. That's what Mayor Carter would do. Mayor Carter, so folks, I'm not coming down on black people. I am, because I love my people. But all of this nonsense with this out of control crime, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's not happening. The first thing I would do is bring back the street crimes unit of the NYPD. Oh, that's illegal. The Fed said you can't do that. Well, I changed the name. It wouldn't be called the Street Crimes Unit. Mom Donnie, you're not the only slick one. And as far as something negative, about you or whatever, you think you're the only one, Mom Donnie, that knows how to spin? You knew your wife was a racist when you ran for mayor, and that's why you kept her away from us. You think you're the only one that knows how to bob and weave, Mom Donnie? I am the master of it. And so I don't know, but I was just shocked to see my daughter and my wife, that have never signed on, say that I should do it. Raising the money for me would be easy. I'm not worried about that. And I'm not even worried about the campaign, because if I run, I guarantee you victory, as I've said before. I don't know how to lose. And I don't mean to sound arrogant in that, but I really don't know how to lose. Because I believe that you work so hard, you kill them with your work ethic. And guess where I got that from? The Casamatides. I do want to say this about diet, right? I like a good Big Mac every now and then. Liz in Florida and others are going to kill me, but I like a good Big Mac. I like some chicken nuggets. I don't like to know what's in it. I don't want to know what's in it. I just like it. And what did the guy say in the movie? They rob you at the checkout or whatever. I forgot his name, right? It'll come back to me. Why do they always get me at the drive-thru in McDonald's? All I want is my hot mustard to go with the nuggets. And they never put it in the bag. So where are you going with this, Dominic? I'm not the only one. This is not healthy. I'm not the only one that at times likes a good Big Mac. Guess who else spoke out about this the other day before leaving for China? The President of the United States, stating that he feels, 30 years younger, and talking about his diet and fast food and those that eat all the right things.
I don't know what this is. I feel the same as I did 50 years ago. Yeah. It's crazy. Someday there'll be a day when that won't happen. I'll let Bobby and Oz know, It's not quite the same, but I feel literally the same. I don't know why. It's not because I eat the best foods. Maybe they are the best foods. Who knows what the best foods are? Maybe junk food is good and the other food is no good. I know people that eat the best food. They go to a restaurant, they have celery, and I don't want it. And I'll have steak and everything else. And I say, how you doing? Well, it's over for me at a young age. And all they do is watch it. I know many, many people that all they do is watch their weight, their this, their that. And they kick the bucket, and here we are. I feel great.
The president, as only he can. I get it with the health food, Liz and everybody else. I get it. Liz was kind enough to make for my family these great bake items with everything that's good for you. And I'm walking around eating this stuff, and when I'm at home and eating celery and all of this stuff, and it just leaves me frustrated. Oh, I'm one of these high maintenance guys, right? Work hard, play hard. That's me. Or at least that used to be me back in the day, right? So now I'm embarrassed to admit between shows, I have to take a nap or I'm just not going to make it. But back in the day when I started in journalism, work hard and play hard. Work all day, party all night. Let's do it all over again. Those days are gone. Back to Mom Donnie, right? So thank you, Jim Walden. So I'm just asking a question. And I'm not going to go into all the other stuff. I'm just asking a question. Why is it that every other candidate that ran in the general election has criticized Mamdani except for one? How is that? How is it that the Republican candidate for mayor has not been critical of Mamdani yet? And the independents that ran against Mamdani in the general election and the Democrat that ran in the general election against Mamdani, they have all been critical of him. All of them except for one person. You explain that to me. Explain that to me. Right? Oh, Dominic, leave him alone. It's not his fault. The numbers, no. Explain that to me. I think there were 5 candidates, right? All 5 for November. 3 of them have criticized Mamdani, except for one. So Jim Walden, thank you for raising this money to take on Mamdani. Jim Walden stating, and I want you to listen to this again because it's important. Walden stating that a terrorist attack in New York City would be a complicated problem for Mamdani because Mamdani would be rooting for the terrorists, right? That's what Walden says. And Mamdani, his poor little heart was broken as he responded today. But check this out, folks. Listen carefully. He doesn't answer which side he would be rooting for. Listen very carefully to his response.
So if you could talk directly to Jim Walden, what would you say today?
Get off Twitter.
So I'm wondering, there's been a group that's been formed to sort of combat your agenda. I think they've got a couple $1 million already in that group. And I'm wondering what you think about that effort and also about the comments of Jim Walden, who made some remarks regarding how you would handle a terrorist attack in the city.
What did he say?
I believe he said that you would be rooting for the terrorists.
I think that's just despicable. You know, the idea that this passes for political analysis, not you, but what he says, and that it passes for the norm of discourse, it is a reflection of where we are, not just as a city, but as a country. And there will be those that oppose policies that we put forward. I don't begrudge anyone their opposition. It's New York City. There are 8.5 million people here. We should see 8.5 million opinions. But to besmirch me as the first Muslim mayor of this city, that I would ever be doing anything other than looking to support our city, to defend our city, I really don't have anything else to add to that. And I think it's a reflection of exactly what motivates that kind of opposition.
So notice he says he'd be doing everything to support our city, right? But he doesn't answer which side he would be on. It's real simple, Mamdani. Answer the question. And the follow-up from another reporter, it should have been a few follow-ups on that. But they think that this clown walks on water. And they let him get away with murder. Look at what's happening to the Jewish community. He says nothing. Nothing. Says nothing, does nothing. Wink, wink, nod, nod to his Palestinian buddies. And Mamdani, stop playing the Muslim card, okay? Every time somebody tries to ask you something of substance, I'm the first Muslim American mayor, it's like you're playing the black card. Let it go, buddy. Stop it. Cut it out. Your game is not as tight as you think it is, Mom Donnie. Some of us can see right through you. 800-848-9222. Let's go to Donna, line 3, Garden City. Donna, what's on your mind?
Hi, I'm curious. Did your daughter and your wife give the reasons why they think you should run?
They know my passion. But they've never said this before. And I'm not interested in doing it, but I was just shocked to hear them say it. They know my passion, and they know that if I get into it, that there's going to be good things, there's going to be bad things said about me, and that they're going to have to be there, and I'm going to have to, give it 1,000%. So they didn't give me their reasons. They don't have to. For them to give me their blessing says to me that I need to rethink this seriously. And I'm not interested in being a politician. I'm really not. Because what is required, if you think the civil rights leaders, and thank you for the call, Donna, if you think the civil rights leaders are yelling and screaming now, what do you think they would do with Mayor Carter? Because all of this silliness, all of these kids running around, wolf packs and dead on arrival under Mayor Carter. Not going to be tolerated. You're going to act right, or I'm going to open up the cans of act right for you. It's that simple. I don't understand what's so hard about this. For a mayor, clamp and crack down. It's that simple. You have a police force for a reason. Let them do their jobs. Period. Get me my next street crimes unit. And I'm being honest with you. I shouldn't say this. I want every cowboy in the department, and I want them to be on my street crimes unit. And whatever community has the highest crime, here comes my street crimes unit. And yes, I want you to wear T-shirts that say we own the night, because you do under a Mayor Carter. I don't understand what's so hard about this. Let's see here to Bill, line 1 in Georgia. Bill, what's on your mind?
Hey. Hi, Dominic. This is more for Margot and John. If they're listening, I'm sure they are. And I know you're frustrated with the press corps for Mondami. Why is it that WABC doesn't have a reporter at the press conferences? Because I saw on the website today that they are expanding their global reach. And, if you got somebody from WABC who could ask the tough questions, you won't get frustrated.
Well, as we speak, and I can't speak for the Catsimatidis family. Obviously, they speak for themselves. I'm just one of their few thousand employees around the country. There are all sorts of changes in the works right now. I don't know the details of them, and if I did, I'm not at liberty to say. But years ago, before the Catsimatidis family took over WABC in New York, a gentleman by the name of Bob Capers. Bob was based out of City Hall every day for WABC. So who knows what the future holds. But somebody's got to be down at City Hall to hold this guy accountable. I don't know what's so hard about asking a legitimate question. I don't understand. Maybe they need to pull out tapes of Giuliani's press conferences with me, Gabe, David Seifman, Marsha Kramer was around back then, and a few others. Maybe they need to pull out the tapes and see how it's really done in terms of a City Hall press corps questioning a mayor, or us questioning Koch, or us questioning Dinkins. But right now we have, Mayor, Mom Donnie, I love you. I love you so much. Sire, please tap me on the head. You make me want to throw up, Mom Donnie. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
It's Dominic Carter. Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network. And now, it's time for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Final Thoughts.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Final Thoughts of the day. I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex. DMS says, the lovely DMS, there's so much to say I can hardly form the words. This man, the mayor, did not answer. I told you he didn't answer. Who he would stand next to, would stand in front of, if there was a terrorist attack. That says everything. And then she capitalizes the word everything. She says maybe his Al-Qaeda lawyer that the city is paying on his behalf has given him advice to stay away from the subject of terrorism. And she goes on. What I'm trying to figure out, DMS, is how could you type this long message? And I thought we were limited to characters. But hey, what works for you works for me. And maybe it's not the lawyer that's advising him. Maybe it's his racist wife. Can you imagine the pillow talk? Honey. I don't really want to mock what they may be saying about the Jewish community. In a taxpayer-paid mansion with taxpayer-paid 24-hour-a-day security, the mayor and his wife, NYPD officers putting their lives on the line to protect this clown. Let's see here. Let's go to Paul, line 2, New Jersey. Paul, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, how are you today?
Good. Go right ahead, please.
I crack up when I hear Michael Rappaport. Do you realize the guy was a useful idiot?
What are you, Paul? What do you, just get to the point? What are you saying? That he can't? Anything's better than Mamdani at this point.
Listen, 4 years ago he was all in with the Black Lives Matter, MAGA people with dirtbags. How could you vote? And now he wants. The only way he's winning is with Republicans. And I hope everybody remembers that he was a useful idiot, like half the Jews in the city were. Now they don't like it because
okay, all right. So, Paul, wait a minute. You shouldn't call half of the Jewish population idiots. What do you have to say about Mamdani? You're critical of Rappaport. You're critical of the Jewish community. What do you have to say about Mamdani?
Mamdani at least says it right to their faces. The guy's a total scum, but at least he tells them to their faces. Rappaport, remember, the MAGA people were scum to him. Now all of a sudden he's on our side. Come on.
Paul, thank you for the call. Let's go to line 1. Michael in New Jersey. Michael, what's on your mind?
Hey, you said before that you would guarantee a victory for mayor. I was wondering how you would do that if we have another Mr. 7% guy or another Mr. Cuomo, that's sharing a victory with you, and then the other guy's going to win. How would you deal with that?
Well, that's a good question, Michael. I'm a very serious person. So don't ask me about Mr. 7%. He's a clown, a jackass that frankly shouldn't even be on the radio. So don't ask me about him. All right. And I don't mean to disparage him or anybody else, but don't ask. I'm a serious person. Cuomo, I'd have to consider that if Cuomo was going to run. 7%, I'd beat him in my sleep. It would be an insult to battle for the nomination against him. It would be insulting. It really would. But boy, would I have fun. He'd try and go after me on one issue, and I would reveal every skeleton in his closet. Because when you run for office, you got to run hard and play hard. And that's exactly what I would do here. Let's see. Let's go to Judith in Brooklyn, line 4. Judith, what's on your mind?
I'm practicing Mayor Carter. Mayor Carter. You've got my vote, Dominic Carter. Listen. I think it's a great idea. I really do. And the fact that your family's behind you, go for it. Go for it. You can't imagine. Yes, absolutely. By the way, the 7%er, he announced he's going to run again, right? So
I know. I guess the funds are running low at home.
Oh, Dominic, but I'm thinking the reason he's doing that because he wants to be a spoiler and he wants to protect Mamdani. That's what he's doing. Yes,
no doubt about that. And also that he's addicted to media attention. And media attention for him should have stopped 20 years ago. It should have never happened. He rode Giuliani's claim, his claim to fame. That was his claim to fame. He should have never been on the radio because he's not qualified. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And I don't win by saying that because some people like him. But the truth is the truth. The man should have never been on the radio. It's as simple as that. Judith, thank you for the call. Folks, join the Tunnel to Towers Foundation on its mission to do good in honor of America's heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org, T2T.org. Have a great afternoon. I am back live at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
77 WABC and Bergen Newbridge Medical Center honor the life of legendary broadcaster and our friend, Ernie Anastas.
Hi, it's Ernie Anastas. You know, your thoughts can affect how you feel. Bergen Newbridge Medical Center is the largest hospital in New Jersey, providing comprehensive, equitable, compassionate, and high-quality emergency inpatient and outpatient medical care, plus mental health services and substance use disorder treatment. The Bergen Newbridge team can address your total health needs in one convenient location. Call 201-225-7130 for an appointment or newbridgehealth.org.